Hi, everybody. Continuing in our discussion regarding the analysis of the roles that Yehoshua and Kalev play in the story of the Meraglim. The Gemara in Masechet Sota, here on your worksheet in 2bet, under 2bet. So the Gemara here is actually going on a little bit where Rashi came from. Rashi told us that Kalev went on his own to daven in Hebron. So the Gemara expands on this and tells us what motivated Kalev to do this. The Gemara says, "Vayilu banega vayavo Hebron," quoting the pasuk. "Vayavo mebayile." The Gemara says it should say "and they came" instead of "and he came." The question that Rashi was bothered by. Amarava, and this is really where Rashi gets it from. Milamed sheperesh Kalev me'atzat meraglim v'alach v'nishateach l'kivrei avot. Kalev went away from the path or the plot of the Meraglim, and he went and he prostrated himself on the graves of the Avot. Amar lahen Avotai, and this was the words of Kalev's tefillah. My fathers, my ancestors, bikshu alai rachmim, daven for me, have mercy on me, and atzel me'atzat raglim, that I should be able to be saved from the plot of the Meraglim. And then Kalev continues with his tefillah. Yehoshua kvar bikesh Moshe alav rachmim. Yehoshua, Moshe already had davened for him. Shenemar vayikra Moshe leYoshua ben Nun Yehoshua. As the pasuk says, that Moshe changed Yoshua ben Nun's name to Yehoshua ka Yoshiacha me'atzat meraglim, which Rashi also quoted that Hashem should save him from the plan of Meraglim. V'anu dichtiv v'avdi Kalev ekev hayta ruach acheret imo. And that's how we understand later in the story in Perakim. We also looked at that Rashi in Yadal Chav Talad, where the pasuk says that Kalev had a different spirit about him. Kalev was able to speak to the Meraglim b'peh and go along with their plan externally, but internally balev he was able to control his feelings and wait till the given moment where he would be able to reject the words of the Meraglim. So this Gemara is interesting because it highlights the fact that Kalev saw that Moshe had davened for Yehoshua and was not doing the same for him. He went ahead and took the initiative to daven for himself. What ultimately seems to be the difference between Kalev and Yehoshua is borne out here in a comment by the Noam Elimelech, one of the great Hasidic masters, on Parshat Shlach, and he writes the following: on that pasuk, which we've already looked at a few times, that Kalev had a different spirit about him. There are two types of tzadikim. There are certain tzadikim that must be separate and set us, kind of different than all other people. Because when they're part of the world, they might end up falling down from their spiritual level because they're not able to handle the external influence or atmosphere, environment that they're part of. They need to kind of go into an isolated place. And then there are other tzaddikim who are able to be involved in the world and be involved with people who are on a lower stature than they are, and nonetheless they're able to maintain their status, spiritual status. Not only this, but these people who machzirim lamutav, they're actually able to bring those people up. Instead of falling down, they're able to bring up the people around them to a higher level. Al derech sheshamati haperish mirabi mori hagon hakadosh hamanoach, Rav Dov Ber, who was the student of the Baal Shem Tov. So Noam Elimelech was the third generation from the Baal Shem Tov. His teacher was the Maggid of Mezrich, Dov Ber, who was a student of the Baal Shem Tov. So he writes like this. He writes from the Mishnah on Avot, that Lo Hisriach Basar Kodesh Me'olam, one of the great miracles in the Beit Hamikdash was that the meat, the sacrificial meat of the korbanot, never went bad, never lost its taste or smell, and this is reflecting this idea that you could be on a high level and you never lose your status, even though you might surround yourself by people who aren't on the level that you're on. Uperush mishu basar kodesh tzaddik amor eina masriach me'olam av kishu me'urav imahem umedaber imam. So he says this was the level of Kalev. V'zeu ba'avdi Kalev ekav hayta ruach acheret. Kalev was able to acha pepev acha belev, as Rashi wrote. He was able to externally convince the Meraglim that he was with them, and hang around them and laugh with them and joke with them and say, "Hey, Eretz Yisrael, what a terrible place." And internally, he knew what the truth was, and he was waiting till the given moment, and that was where we have in chapter 13, the given moment to be able to stand up and push back against their report, and that was Kalev's level. So in many ways, he was a tzaddik who was a little bit on a higher level than Yehoshua. Even though he spoke with the Meraglim, he didn't fall down from his level. He was actually able to withstand the pressure from the outside against the Meraglim. Now, please find the document with some of the questions on these sources that we studied during these two videos.